Actually, I've been having a great time in terms of exercise inside the lockdown process. I've been walking more, cycling more, running more, having a great time. It's been really enlightening, and we're lucky we live on the Thames Pass, so there's plenty of places to walk and to run. We're also near Richmond Park, which is now empty of cars, empty of cyclists, and no planes going overhead.
So I've been keeping my exercise routine up by using my home gym a lot more often. And thankfully I've got some weights and dumbbells and a punch bag in there, so I've been doing that. I was due to do the marathon, and the marathon got cancelled, but I've kept up running, but just shorter distances, and I'm hoping now that we're going to I'll be able to do the London Marathon in October. But I am finding myself eating a bit more, which means that during lockdown I've had to continue to exercise to keep the weight off a bit.
I think probably everyone can agree that the pandemic has certainly not helped us all to stay in our usual kind of routines and lifestyles. And one of the first things that really, for me, especially at the start of all this, that had to go, was a lot of my exercise routines, because no matter what, I have to sort the children and make sure that they're okay. And then obviously the business is a big priority as well. So I used to go to a local Zumba class, and obviously you can't go there in person anymore, but what she has done is she's moved to a Zoom Zumba class, so I try and attend that every week. I've also been able to find someone locally that I'm able to do some Tai Chi with, and I've been also at times doing some extra sort of like some strength, not HIIT sessions, but sort of like some sort of shortish HIIT ones. But Alan, my husband, found a really good sort of online kind of community type thing called Move GB, and you can go on that and search for different types of fitness programs that you like, different exercises and things like that, which was I've found really useful, because doing it that way I've been able to find someone else who does Zumba as well, but does like a longer session, because I'm someone that, especially for my mind as well, I need to have quite intense cardio for a good hour or something to keep me in a good headspace. And she's doing hour-long sessions, and I'm able to go to those twice a week, which is really good for me. And I also found somebody who does Pilates, which I used to do and I'd stopped doing for a bit, and I'm starting to get back into that.
And the way the business has changed as a result of this whole situation is quite impressive, actually. They've moved to home working for 90% of the staff within a couple of weeks, and that's a lot more difficult than it sounds, because of course you've got to set up secure networks and so on and so forth. We've seen no degradation of productivity. A lot of the staff are enjoying it, and I wouldn't be at all surprised if quite a few people decide to carry on working from home whilst this whole thing's over. So yeah, the numbers are still holding up as well, so I think we're feeling pretty good at the moment, but obviously the economic outlook is pretty scary.
So we've been really lucky at Savello that all of our systems and processes are based on the cloud, so we can actually run our business remotely quite efficiently, actually. So all of our team have been working from home. We've still been speaking to and looking after clients, mostly via Zoom, and certainly in the early days of lockdown, with the market volatility at the time, we've made sure that we've communicated to all of our clients what's going on, and that we're here, we're there if they need us. So certainly that technology has enabled us to do this. I think what it's shown us is actually the world now is more used to engaging using video conferencing, and that's brought down some of the geographical barriers in terms of working with clients, because certainly we've now got more clients who engage with us online when before they might have been a little bit more resistant. I think we've all come to a conclusion that people actually don't mind working online. However, I also miss actually meeting, seeing and speaking to people. So one of the things that we won't change is the fact that if we can and where it's possible, we'll still see clients live and make sure we're in a position where we spend some time with them over a coffee, having a chat, because I still like that part of the job, and that's the part I really miss. So it has affected my work-life balance, because even though we're back in the office now, the first few weeks of lockdown, I mean, we only came back last week, but the first 10 odd weeks of lockdown, I was working from home. And I made a mistake a couple of years ago to remove the Wi-Fi from my home office specifically. So I found myself working from my lounge, which is fine. But I've got an 8-year-old daughter who wanted to get involved in every single Zoom meeting I was doing at the time. So that was interesting. So working from home has been a bit of a challenge. What it has allowed me to do is spend more time with my family. And I've realised that actually what I'm striving to achieve is the right balance between work and life. But I think I needed to make sure the line between work and life was a bit firmer, hence why I've decided to move back in the office. So there's a couple of ways that I've managed to keep my mental health quite robust. Exercise has been one of them. Filtering news has been another. So I've tried to make sure that I've been in a position where I've taken as much information as I need to, but not as much as it was going to impact my mental health. And getting that balance right has been actually a challenge. You know, sometimes I've got it right, sometimes I haven't. Laughing and spending time with people I love has genuinely helped.
I think there are a couple of impacts on the profession as a result of the virus. I think one is positive and one is negative. To start with the negative one, I think the drop in the market, which has been sudden and substantial, will have come as a massive surprise, not just to the professionals, but also to the investors, and particularly those investors in drawdown, and actually early investors into some of the robo-advisor propositions, is the issue of online conversations with clients. In these troubled times when people are worried, it's easy to send a circular, but they're probably nothing like as impactful as a Skype or a Zoom or a FaceTime or whatever, when you're actually talking to clients face to face. And most clients now are familiar with that technology. So I think that's a massive advantage, and I can see that being extended to lots of situations. And I'm aware of people who've made investments actually without ever having a face-to-face physical meeting with their advisor. I think the interesting thing would be what's going to be the long-term impact of this virus, because clearly, you know, there's a lot of money that's being spent to keep the economy ticking over, and the issue is how are we going to get that money back, and how long is it going to take, and what's the impact going to be on the market, particularly for investors looking for income. And I think that this represents a huge opportunity for financial advisors. And so I think and I hope there'll be quite a lot of innovation driven by this. And actually this kind of event often drives a great deal of innovation across the whole value chain.
What coronavirus has done, certainly with the clients that I'm speaking to, has changed their perspective a bit. And what this has done is given people an opportunity to reflect on both not only their money but also their lives. And I think coronavirus for the profession should be about changing the dialogue we have with our clients, that where our focus is more on the life and making sure the money is a vehicle to live the life you want, than just about the money. I think that's the big lesson we should learn from this experience.